Hi, good evening, everyone. A late good evening to say, and not the day result we expected. We just saw the game between Mumbai City FC and FC Nassaji of Iran. This Iranian team defeats Mumbai City FC. I think many of us thought that Mumbai City would should win this game, and if you see, go by the stats of the game, Mumbai City were definitely the better team, but sometimes stats are not enough. You have to score the goal, which is the most important thing, and that is the thing. It has happened. So very hard day, I think. But I would give it to Mumbai City FC. They played really well, playing in Pune Balewari. I think being a Monday, the crowd was decent, quite decent. I would say. I saw the ticket pricing was priced at 499 onwards. Then also people turned up for the game, which was a good sign. But what can be done? Hard days are there in life, and a hard day for Mumbai City FC. They lose the game 2-0 to Nasarji. I'll go from Arunavoda to Curious Harry. Arunavoda, how do you see this game happening? And you expected this result, or you expected Mumbai? Because I and Harry thought Mumbai City had an edge today, but sad luck. Sometimes what we think don't happen in the field, but at least Mumbai City FC, by statistically, and if you see the game also, Mumbai City were the better team today. But unlucky, sometimes better team don't win the match. Oh no, your take.
Well, that's football, and a very warm evening to everyone who's watching and listening. Also, good evening to you and Hiran Bhai. Yeah, it's a match where Mumbai City potentially could have gotten a positive result out of it. I think that's the big positive out of this game, that an Indian club side, an Indian Super League side, can face a team from the Gulf Pro League in Iran. And I think that's a big bonus. The stats, as you said, speak for Mumbai City FC. They had more of possession, they had more chances. We lacked finishing. And when we come to talk about finishing and Indian football, of course, that's something that we do speak quite often about. But this was a match. If Mumbai City had any chance of progressing to the round of 16, they needed to win this game. And this is something which makes it very, very tough for Mumbai City now to potentially stay in the hunt for one of those spots. I mean, losing 0-2 to an Iranian side is most probably a respectable result. Nassaji, Mazandaran are one of those teams. It's disappointing at the end of the day, but again, it's encouraging on one side, but on the other side, disappointing, because again, it shows that the top teams in the Indian Super League potentially could also in the future play in the Champions League. But again, the Champions League format is being changed in the sense of that instead of 40 teams, it will have only 24 teams. And it's disappointing in the end that they did not get the result that most probably we as fans of once either Mumbai City or fans of Indian football would have liked.
Correctly. Rightly said. Hiren, before we go to you, Shovik Devnath asks the score. Mumbai City has lost the game 2-0, so that's the score line for you. Hiren, going to you. How do you think? And firstly, welcome to the show. And Hiren, your take on the match. आपने पूरा मैच देखा. You did the watch along. आपको कैसा लगा Mumbai City FC का ये game play, and are you happy what the way Mumbai City play, irrespective of win or lose? आपको कैसा लगा?
हेलो एवरीवन एंड हेलो अरुण सर. देखिए, डेफिनेटली डिसअपॉइंटिंग इसलिए ज्यादा है क्योंकि आप देखिए कि जिस तरह से टीम ने खेला मुंबई सिटी ने, जब आप ऐसे टीम परफॉर्मेंस करती है कि जिस मैच को आप जीत सकते हैं एंड उसके बावजूद भी नहीं जीतते, तो फैन काफी ज्यादा मतलब क्या बोलते हैं कि डिसअपॉइंट हो जाते हैं कि भाई आपने जीता हुआ मैच आपने गवा दिया. क्योंकि अगर चलो बुरा खेल के हार गए तो मतलब समझ में आता है कि आपको हारना ही था. लेकिन दिस मैच मुंबई सिटी हैव बीन इजीली मतलब क्या बोलते कि वो निकाल सकती थी. ड्रॉ की भी बात नहीं कर रहे, हम बोल रहे निकाल सकती थी. एंड उस मैच में अगर आप 2-0 का आपका रिजल्ट आ रहा है तो दैट्स व्हाई फैन हैज बीन रियली मतलब सोशल मीडिया पे भी अभी दिख रहा है फ्रस्ट्रेशन फैंस का. एंड बनता है क्योंकि आप देखिए आप खुद की गलतियों की वजह से मैच हारे हो. इसमें ऐसा नहीं है कि एफसी नासाजी ने आपसे मतलब आपको आउट क्लास कर दिया टैक्टिकली या फिर ऐसे. प्लेयर की इंडिविजुअल मिस्टेक्स है, आपको 2 गोल कंसीड कर दिए और प्लेयर्स की इंडिविजुअल मिस्टेक के चलते आप गोल स्कोर नहीं कर पाए। तो यहाँ पे मैं मैनेजर को भी उतना ब्लेम नहीं करूंगा आई वुड से कि देश बकिंगम ने कोई टेक्टिकली ब्लंडर कर दिया था। एक चीज मैं जरूर क्रिटिसाइज करना चाहूंगा देश बकिंगम की कि उन्होंने सब्स्टिट्यूशन काफी लेट किए। आई थिंक दे ही शुड हैव बीन ब्रॉट अप ए अर्ली सब्स्टिट्यूशन, जबकि आपको पता था कि फर्स्ट हाफ में आपके कुछ प्लेयर वर्कआउट नहीं कर रहे हैं। तो उसने काफी आते आते मतलब आई थिंक 70 मिनट के बाद आई थिंक उन्होंने सब्स्टिट्यूट लाया है। तो वो एक वहां पे क्रिटिसाइज बनता है। अदरवाइज आई थिंक इंडिविजुअल प्लेयर्स ने काफी मिस्टेक की इस मैच में, एंड पर्टिकुलरली चांगते चांगते ने जिस तरह से वो 10th मिनट पे उसको चांस मिला था जो मिस किया, आई थिंक वो गोल्डन चांस था। सेकंड हाफ में उसको लगातार 2-3 क्रूशियल चांस मिले, वो भी उसने मिस किए। बिपिन की आज क्रॉसिंग बहुत ही ज्यादा पुअर, बहुत ही ज्यादा पुअर। मतलब जैसे ही उसके पास बॉल आ रही थी वो सिर्फ मतलब बिना देखे सीधा ही वो बॉक्स के अंदर डाल रहा था। एक भी आपका प्लेयर वहां पे अवेलेबल नहीं हो रहा था। जॉर्जे परेरा डियास को उन्होंने बिल्कुल आइसोलेट करके रखा था पूरे मैच में। एंड आई थिंक जो एक प्लेयर मेरे को सबसे ज्यादा जो बढ़िया लगा आई थिंक पूरा थ्रू आउट द मैच जो मतलब एफर्ट डाल रहा था वो था ग्रेग स्टुअर्ट। उसके अलावा सभी ने कहीं ना कहीं इंडिविजुअल मिस्टेक की है। राहुल बेके, आकाश मिश्रा, राहुल बेके तो मतलब आई थिंक वन ऑफ द वर्स्ट प्लेयर इन दिस मैच विदाउट ए डाउट। आई थिंक बहुत ही खराब परफॉर्मेंस। आई थिंक एक्सपेक्टेड नहीं था उनसे, क्योंकि डिफेंसिव सोलिडारिटी आप उनसे एटलीस्ट एक्सपेक्ट करते हो, एंड वहीं पे उन्होंने एरर की इस मैच में। सो इसीलिए ज्यादा डिसअपॉइंटिंग है आई थिंक कि आपने मैच को जीत सकते थे। एंड जैसे अरुणव सर ने बोला कि इस मैच के साथ आपका जो राउंड ऑफ 16 का एक होप है वो काफी ज्यादा ब्लिंक हो गया है अब, क्योंकि सामने जो चैलेंजेस है वो क्लियरली शो कर रहे हैं कि आपके चांसेस काफी लेस हो गए। तो दैट्स व्हाई इट्स क्या बोलते हैं डिसअपॉइंटिंग फॉर द फैंस।
And Hiren, I think Abhishek also correctly points out this very disappointing result indeed. Lack of finishing at this level will make our team pay for sure. Finishing आज such much, I think they got two chances. They actually utilized it, and they had so many chances, but they were unable to close the gap. I think in fact Changte had an opportunity to score a hat trick today. He would have been any another day. He would have scored a hat trick. But hard luck, hard luck. Nothing too much to say. But Onavda, if you see Mumbai City FC losing the very important game at home, but you have to. But one thing I think we should understand, the level of Champions League is quite ahead if you compare the AFC Cup and other things, because this is the top tier of the AFC, and this team is struggling in Iranian league, but uh, Iranian league itself is very strong. So that is something we should also look into. I think they played with only one foreigner today, but yesterday I and Hiren was discussing their Iranian players are better than many foreigners playing for us. That is also something which we need to understand. So, an Indian player dominating against this team, I think that's a positive we could take. और now the you will take it in a hard way and say नहीं dominating करने से क्या होगा, at the end of the day हमको जीतना है और जीतने से ही तो कुछ होगा, dominate करने से क्या होगा, you have to get the result. What do you think, which is the way forward?
I think there are 2 points. First of all, Nassaji, Mazandaran are not a top side in the Iranian league. They're not a top side in the Gulf Pro League. They're not Persepolis. They're not Esteghlal. Teams who are regular Asian Champions League teams who've won big tournaments, competitions, who are amongst the biggest teams in the continent. On the other side, the average Iranian footballer playing in the Iran Pro League, in the Gulf Pro League in Iran, they are of a higher standard than players who play in the ISL, are Indian players. So from that perspective, it is. But we have had more quality when it comes to Mumbai City. You've got Royston Griffiths, you've got Yoel Fanif, Greg Stewart, you've got Jorge Pereira Diaz, you've got Tiri in there. So from that perspective, it evens out a little. And you saw the quality, the potential Mumbai City has, the quality that this team has. And again, finishing is something that they have so far this season struggled. I go back to the Durand Cup match against Mohunbagan, where again, if Mumbai City score off their chances in the second half, they win the game, right? So that is something that I think Des Buckingham will be a little worried about, that you're not scoring off your chances, while on the other side he'll be quite happy that they are creating the chances. And the point is with your substitution things, I yes, we can discuss that one or the other player of um, he could have taken off or switched or tried to change tactically something, but sometimes you feel let's just give the players a little bit more, and I saw that over the weekend with my team here in Germany, where where you were 1-1, you had a terrible first half, and they came back and you blew your opponent away and won 4-1 in the end, and you could have won 7-1. So football, sometimes, again, substitutions is something. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't work, sometimes it's too early, sometimes it's too late. So again, there is, what is that perfect second, what is that perfect timing? That's very, very difficult. And again, it doesn't matter if you're the biggest coach or the smallest coach in the world, you're playing with the best team or the worst team. Substitutions sometimes work, sometimes don't work. So from that perspective, I wouldn't say much about Des. And if you see what Des has built in these last 2+ seasons now with Mumbai City, you're going into a Champions League match, you are dominating a team from Iran. I would say that is something yeah, again, that is that's something which I give credit to Des and to the team, that you've been able to do this, this growth of these players over the last few years. We're talking today about Changte missing chances. um, would we have spoken 3-4 years ago about Chante even getting into those positions to get those chances? The potential, the talent was there. So I take the positives for Mumbai City FC. I say, yeah, you didn't have the luck on your side today, but overall, well played. And this team learns fast and quickly. So I hope they learn. So I hope that they learn fast, and they're better in the next match when they travel to Uzbekistan, and who knows, maybe get a result there.
We never know actually. It's a funny game. We can get a result. I think they will be defending and we get a chance. They can score from there. So I'll go to Hiren. Vishwarup Dotto has a question. हिरेन आपने गेम देखा, आपको क्या लगता है हाउ मच विल यू ग्रेड बकिंगहम एंड मेहदी रहमानी एज पर टुडेस टैक्टिकल स्ट्रेटजी? आप कैसे रेट करोगे दोनों को? आप कैसे ग्रेड
Yesterday
करोगे?
yesterday we also talk about that. I already told that ki Mehdi Rahman's tactics was simple. He is coming in a away game, so he definitely go with that low block setup. And आप देखिए उन्होंने काउंटर पे खेलना था, जो कि आपको मैच में पूरे मैच में दिखा. They didn't try for the ball. They only waited कि भाई यहाँ पे मुंबई सिटी कब यहाँ पे बॉल लूज कर लिए, एंड वो काउंटर पे हिट कर रहे थे. एंड दे, आई थिंक टेक्टिकली मैं यहाँ पे क्या बोलते हैं मेहदी रहमानी का वो यहाँ पे तारीफ करूंगा कि उन्होंने यहाँ पे मुंबई सिटी की वीक लिंक को पकड़ा. उनको पता था कि राहुल बेके इज द वीक लिंक इन डिफेंस, एंड दैट्स व्हाई आप देखिए जितनी भी बार उनका अटैक बनाए वो यहाँ पे उनका लेफ्ट साइड से बनाए, क्योंकि यहाँ पे राहुल बेके हर बार वहां पे पोट ऑफ हो रहे थे. एंड चांसेस आप सारे के सारे उनके देखिए मोस्ट ऑफ द चांसेस दे हैव क्रिएटेड फ्रॉम देयर लेफ्ट फ्लैंक. So I think in that sense they have read a game very well. But I think tactically that's Buckingham, I think on point. If you see state also, it shows that they have created enough chances to win the match. So simply there is a no fault, I would say, that Des Buckingham has made any mistake in that area of the game. So I think tactically to this Des Buckingham has been superior in that terms. And but player have, if player can't finish or player can't, you can say in final third make the right choice, then it's not the coach problem, it's the players. You can say ki problem ki they are not capable enough in that high intensity game. If you see Akash Mishra's mistake, particularly in that second goal, that's a clearly player's mistake. How can a coach, I think, you can say do anything? So in that terms, I think Des Buckingham is superior in terms of the tactical battle in this match.
Okay, okay. So my last question before we go to the Mohunbagan Odisha game preview show. My last question to both of you is the Ornauda, coming first to you. Do you think Mumbai City have any more chance to go to the next round, or do you think with this loss, I think it's more or less over for them now?
No, it's not, because I think, again, you'll be unhappy with the result, but you can take a lot of positives out of the game. And in that way, I would say build on the positives. One thing also showed that the Iranians were a little bit more in their league modus. We weren't. And and from that perspective, I hope they can do something. And the challenge now is to wait and watch what happens in the other game between Al Hilal and the Uzbek side, because that will then sort of determine, as if one would expect Al Hilal to win 2-0, 3-0. That puts a lot of pressure also on the Uzbeks in the next game, and that's a must-win game for then both teams. So yeah, I think is that's the point. And again, Mumbai City will play this competition going into every game to try and get a result, and it doesn't matter if it's like a match today, or it's a match against one of the biggest teams in Asia like Al Hilal. And if they can get their goals, um, yeah. And again, I think one factor which is a factor, which is a sad factor, is if Mumbai had played in at the Mumbai Football Arena, that home advantage would have been bigger. I think it is a factor today that you had to play in Pune, and that's something which in some sort of form or way most probably hit Mumbai City as well, because I think the Mumbai Football Arena, maybe the one or the other opportunity would have most probably gone in and not would have been a wasted opportunity.
ओके, हिरेन, आपको क्या लगता है कितने पॉइंट्स और मुंबई सिटी एफसी मतलब कर सकता है, मतलब रिमेनिंग गेम्स में कितने पॉइंट्स दे कैन कलेक्ट? आपको क्या लग रहा है, seeing the
Definitely,
quality of
it's a tough task now. They have, matlab, they only have, I think, if you see the group, that Al Hilal most probably, uh, Mumbai City will lose their both matches, but I think Navbahar and FC Nassaji, these three games, they try to have to get maximum point they can, you can say, stretch out from that. So I think if they manage to win in the three games, I think 7 or 8 point. Uh, I think they have a real chance to go into the next round. Otherwise, it will be very, very difficult. And also, they have to keep in mind that GD perspective also, because it's not only that you finish second and you have to go, you are going into the round of 16. Last time the 6-0 loss against, I think, Al Sabab is hurt them most. Otherwise, their
yes.
chances of going into the next round were there. So I think they also have to try to lose by a very close margin against Al Hilal, which is going to be also very, very difficult, because we already know what are in which form Al Hilal is there. So difficult, but I think definitely chances are there. And if I think Mumbai City learn from their mistake in this match, I think definitely they would come up with a good fight. And I completely agree with Aruna sir. If this match was happen in Mumbai Football Arena, I think result might be difference, because in this match the atmosphere is not up to the mark, I would say. Completely disappointing on that front also. Iranian fans were chanting more than Mumbai City fans in some of the time in the game, throughout the game. So that shows ki you are not able to create that environment, because otherwise opposition team will be also in, you can say, ki little bit more pressure. So that's the disadvantage they have. So that's the thing.
Correctly. We had few people going from Mumbai to Pune, but it's a long distance from there. And many people were able to go from West Coast Cricket, but again, it's a very long distance. And I think they should look into get Andheri ready for the next year when they play the AFC Cup. I think that will give them an edge, because they have that connect with the stadium over there. I totally agree with Unamuda and both, and to you also. Here lies the stat. I think the stat says it all actually. Mumbai City FC dominating the game, but unlucky, very, very unlucky not to finish, at least get a point from this game. I think they would be very, very unlucky. I think with this, we will be going to our second round of discussions between Mohunbagan and Odisha game, which is scheduled tomorrow. We'll discuss on that game and many things. But before we go, we are requesting all of the people who are watching the show do like our video and share, and do subscribe to Indian Food and Football, Arun Foot and Curious Harry, to get latest updates of Indian football. So before we go to that game, firstly, Arunavada, Mohun Bagan, Odisha, a team I think people have not seen till now. Duran Cup, you can't see the Duran Cup, Odisha, and the team which will play tomorrow is different. Sergio Lobera, when won Kolkata, he said in a press conference that I thought I didn't give words. I'll come to East Bengal, but he goes to Odisha. Uh, he'll be again up with. We'll playing against Mohunbagan, the arch rival. Being an East Bengal fan, it is very very difficult to support whom to support. but tomorrow's game is very interesting, interestingly poised. How you think this Odisha up against Mohunbagan?
One second, one second, one second. You are saying, as an East Bengal fan,
Yes,
it
yes,
is difficult to decide who to support.
yes.
Why?
Because tomorrow's game is very difficult. Both are Indian team, na? Just today we were sure they will support Mumbai.
No, 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 no.
Tomorrow,
I understood it. But I thought if you would ask East Bengal fans, who are you
whom to support?
supporting whom to support tomorrow?
I'm very. I don't know whom to
90% of
support.
people will say Odisha, no? 95% will say Odisha, no?
No, Radha. This time it's a bit different because Sergio Lobera effect is also there, no?
What is the bigger evil in that way? Acha, theek hai.
Bigger evil, huh? That is that way. But if you come to the game, tomorrow's game, Dada, what do you think? Mumbai, Odisha is a team which we have not seen in the Durand Cup. They had a training session in. They had a good time they spent in Thailand. Coming from there directly, a newly revamped team with many new players getting included. Many would say aged players in the side: Ahmed Jahu, Murtaza Fall, Roy Krishna, but all of quality, good quality. And how do you see this? Mohunbagan has we have seen more or less Mohunbagan in Durand Cup playing with more or less a full strength squad. They will be against Odisha. I think unknown element till now. Sergio Lobera back in Indian football. What do you think about tomorrow's game? Very interesting game tomorrow.
I think it's a different game. The point here is that Durand Cup was pre-season. Now comes the real season, AFC Cup and ISL. As you said, we've not seen Odisha FC so far. It's now Sergio Lobera. It's much bigger names than they've had in the past. I think on the other side, Mohunbagan will be interesting to see if they play, who they play actually, amongst the foreigners. They've got options. And going to Bhubaneswar is not easy. So from that perspective, will be interesting to see. There are two factors. One factor is Odisha is short of competitive match practice. Mohunbagan on the other side, up to the Durand Cup, played a little bit of too much of football in beginning of September. But they've now had 2 weeks to recoup. So you are coming into this game in a different thing. Odisha FC doesn't know where they really stand. Mohunbagan, to some extent, knows where they stand. I think Juan Fernando knows a little bit more about it. But these are two coaches who know each other quite well tactically, playing wise. Most of the players are known now. So therefore, I'm looking forward to an interesting game. And I would think it's most probably a 1-1, which I would predict if I was asked.
1-1 for Hiren Bhai. Agreeing with Arunavada, or you have some other observation of the game?
Definitely, I think Mohunbagan, I think, have a little bit superior in this match in terms of the matches they have played in a sense, the competitive environment. No doubt, Odisha FC comes from the Thailand pre-season, but if you see Mohunbagan's recent matches, they have played 3 AFC Cup qualifier matches, which were competitive match. In Durand Cup also, no doubt, it's a pre-season tournament, but in quarter-final, semi-final, and final, these 3 matches are very competitive matches. Mumbai City, FC Goa, and East Bengal FC. So I think in that sense, I think they have a very good idea क्या बोलते जॉन फेरांडो को कि what actually he needed in that match. And I think it is also really interesting to see कि which are the both the teams are going for that six foreigner option or they are going for lesser foreigner. I think that would be interesting to see. I am really excited to see how Mohunbagan is going to go with their. I don't think so. They will go with, to be honest, six foreigner. I think uh, after the Liston क्या बोलते हैं कि आसिफ कुरुनियन injury, maybe they are add in front line. I would say कि uh, Petratos and Jason Cummings will be there. But I don't think so कि all foreigners के वो साथ जाएंगे क्योंकि Anwar Ali मतलब you can't drop him. I think the way he is playing, I think definitely he will be there. But Hector Utse and Brendan Nabil, there will be tough choice to make. Who is going to start or both will start. That will be interesting to see. You can go with back three. We already see John Fernando gone with the back three. Then what happened to Subhas's boss? Is your captain. So I think that choice will be a difficult choice one in backline. And for Odisha FC, definitely we haven't seen under Sergio Oliveira this season. They played some matches in Thailand, and for them, I think it's going to be a tough challenge. But I think they have some, I would say, individual brilliance player. Diego Mauricio, we already know he has been brilliant for Mumbai City FC. Difference maker, I would say, in last Champions League campaign for Mumbai City. So he also there. Roy Krishna they have signed this season. Delgado in backline. Murtada Fall, a very experienced campaigner again in the backline. So they have some interesting profile. So it will be a tough fight. I don't think so. It will be a one way for Mohunbagan, but they have a currently in terms of the preparation wise and in terms of the on paper, I think they are slightly ahead in this match.
When we are discussing this, Hiren, Mohun Bagan most likely will be without Subhashish Bose tomorrow. He has also he has also
Then
on the
it's a
mind.
blessing for John Fernando that he didn't have to make that tough choice.
But I'm actually it will be a game. I think Odisha is somebody some a team which I think people are not aware of. Mohun Bagan is somebody I think Mohun Bagan team more or less sorted. They played with the full team in Duran Cup. So I think Odisha, Lovera has I think had a look on the team. Definitely has looked on the team. But Juan Fernando has the management has huge expectation on this AFC Cup. They have built a team around it. They were they were very vocal saying that they have built this team for winning the AFC Cup. That's their dream. And from tomorrow, the real state for Juan Fernando starts. He has won the Duran Cup, very good. He has won the ISL, but now Mohun Bagan fans, Mohun Bagan management, all are expecting. Mohun Bagan Super Giants management is expecting that him to deliver good results in AFC Cup. That will be interesting to see. Oh, now the too much on stake for Mr. Juan Fernando. He's on because this is the AFC Cup. He has to prove himself because last time when they lost to the Malaysian club, who were I would say Mohun Bagan really didn't play that good that day. But what can be done? So huge expectation on burden of expectation on Juan Fernando's shoulders. How he should cope on this? What do you think?
There's massive pressure on Juan Fernando because Sanjeev Goenka, as the principal owner of Mohunbagan Super Giant, has clearly stated that Asian continental success is what their primary target is. Odisha FC, to me, are one of those top four contenders in the ISL. They are not in the bracket of Mumbai City and Mohunbagan, but they are there with Goa and some of the other clubs who are potentially there. Therefore, I feel it's an interesting matchup, and Odisha is playing at home again, and um, the foreigners on their side are a little older. Yes, on that is a fact, but these are guys who have seen it, done it all, and I think that is something that if you look at Murtada Fall, Ahmed Jahu, Diego Mauricio, they played last time around for Mumbai City in the Champions League.
Champions League. Yes.
So from that perspective, I think yes, and it'll be interesting to see. So therefore, I say it's a 50-50 game for me. And again, it's not a question of if it's an edge for this team or that team. I think home advantage is an advantage always, and that is something that we should not discount, and see how both these teams sort of get into that game. Yeah, and it'll be very interesting to see.
One of the Kumar says Mohunbagan has an edge when you compare it with Odisha, but Indian players in Odisha uh, FC don't have AFC experience. He's saying about the AFC experience is lacking on the Odisha FC players who are Indian players. He's basically telling the Indian
See,
players.
if we look at certain positions, certainly Mohun Bagan is better than Odisha FC. But again, I would not discount the players that they've had and that they've brought in. And again, home advantage is a factor. Therefore, I'm saying it's most likely to be an even game. And I think Juan Ferrando and his team will also be careful, because you're playing against an opponent which you don't know much about.
Hmm. Sushmit is saying Odisha, Odisha will not have home advantage because we'll have more fans, traveling fans tomorrow.
Let us see.
Let's say that is something which I think it's a new thing which has started. It's good actually. Away, it's good for the game also. If more and more people travel for the game. One of the before I go to Hiren, do you think Juan Fernando has too many of players to decide on, or do you think the recently injury to Ashik Kurnian and Subhasis both not getting not available for this game? Do you think he is somewhat right now in relief that he has no, not much choices now? I think it's better for him because it's a good thing, a good headache to have for a coach. But now I think he's more sorted because he has few players who will be not playing tomorrow. Do you think that Juan Fernando will have his task cut out tomorrow because he needs to fill his best team, and Odisha FC game will be one of the most interesting games of this group because if you see this is the game Mohunbagan needs to get through because I expect Mohunbagan to better themselves against other two teams in the group, but this is the game which is more important, I think. What do you think, Anuradha?
Two things. I think Mohun Bagan has a left back problem if Shubhashish Bose doesn't play, because his alternative um, Ashik Kurunian is also out, and Sumit Rathi is away with the Asian Games squad. So I think Mohun Bagan has that question on that position. I don't know who that left back will be. So that is one question. Um, and it's early in the season, so to analyze is it will be very very interesting to see how things really pan out, work out.
Okay, okay. Acha, Hiren, if I go to you and let's discuss tomorrow's game. Hiren, do you think Odisha FC playing at the home ground will give them their advantage, or else you think this home advantage theory doesn't work for tomorrow's game? What do you think about it?
No, no, definitely there will be advantage for Odisha FC. No doubt, there are a lot of fans from Mohunbagan is traveling, but there is an advantage to Odisha FC without a doubt. उसमें कोई वो वाली बात नहीं है. And I think ticket भी sold out हो चुकी है almost. So I think it will be a packed house. Not the atmosphere like today, but so उस sense में भी I think एक interesting fight होगी. And the one thing I want to mention is here is in this group, Odisha and Mohunbagan are the favorite, no doubt. Vasundhara Kings is also there and Mazda is also there, but the two strongest club are obviously the ISL clubs, and that's why this match will be really crucial for any of this one to go into the next round. So in that sense, I think this game has a very important thing, and obviously yes, Furious as थोड़े से क्या बोलते हैं कि cool down level, and आई थिंक एक्सपेक्टेशन आई थिंक और मोर ऑन मोहन बगान, उसमें कोई वो वाली बात नहीं है डाउट कि फैंस का भी एक्सपेक्टेशन ज्यादा है. सो इन दैट सेंस जॉन फर्नांडो हैज टू डिलीवर ऑन दैट फ्रंट, एंड सर्जियो लेबरा के लिए आई थिंक एक बिग अपॉर्चुनिटी है कि फर्स्ट मैच अगेंस्ट मोहन बगान, एंड इफ दे मैनेज टू गेट द पॉइंट then I think it will you can say कि make a statement his arrival in the again in the Indian football setup. एंड आई थिंक कल का मैच डिसाइड करेगा मोर ऑफ कि इस ग्रुप में किस डायरेक्शन में हम जा रहे हैं, क्योंकि शुरुआत आपकी एक अच्छी होनी चाहिए किसी भी कंपटीशन की, चाहते हो कि शुरुआत आप अच्छी करो। सो आई थिंक लोबेरा भी वही देख रहा होगा कि भाई किस तरह से हम अपने कैंपेन का पेप्सी कप का शुरुआत करें।
Correct,
But
correct, correct, correct.
there's one point I want to add,
Please,
Shayan, that you
please,
said that this is the most important match. I think Basundara and Mazia are two teams which you should not count out, with a lot of experience on that side. And Basundara will be stronger this year than last year. And I think both Odisha and Mohunbagan having to go to Maldives and Bangladesh will be a challenge. So
yes,
therefore,
yes.
this is most probably a more open group than many fans would think.
एग्री
Correct. Agree, Tata, agree. Una, before I go to you, there is a question Sushmit has asked. Sushmit पूछ रहा है Furious भाई का क्या है, मतलब prediction क्या है for tomorrow's match? He has asked this question previously. मैं actually I missed out. He's asking.
Odisha Mohunbagan or China India?
Odisha Mohunbagan.
चाइना इंडिया
China
में
India तो
प्रेडिक्शन करना है क्या, उसमें जरूरत ही नहीं है। तो वैसे
नहीं, हम
भी
करेंगे बाद में वो
क्या
Who
बोलते
is gone? Who has gone? I have heard that players are stuck here and there, and some didn't get visa. But anyway, that's a different discussion.
I think हम करेंगे
हाँ,
सर. The last 10 minutes I fixed for that. हाँ बताओ. Well,
prediction I would say it will be a close fight. I would say it's not going to be a one-way fight, but I think in a one goal margin, I think might Mohunbagan get the result.
okay.
Hiren is now trying to please Shushmit because he praised him as Furious Bhai.
No. That Sain bhai already told me a couple of days back.
But that is you need to create a second channel. Huh? Besides Curious Harry, Furious Harry भी करना चाहिए.
Seriously. Angry Redman की तरह. Angry Redman की तरह.
गाली दो उसको, सीधा गाली दो. हिंदी में अच्छा आता है. थोड़ा सा पंजाबी कर दो, बस, and then you sort it.
तो और ईगोस टी मैच को ला दो उसका फोटो पीछे. अच्छा, Orgo is saying, Onoda, do you think Rahul Beke is a very lucky player to play ACL? Because I think Rahul Beke doesn't have any ability to play in ACL. उनको लग रहा है Orgo का मतलब he's had this falling there.
Rahul Beke gets a lot of slack and a lot of stick, but people forget. I think in the last ACL, Rahul Beke showed what a captain he was. So therefore, can't fully say.
बट सर लास्ट टाइम उसने किया था, लेकिन अभी नहीं है वो उस क्वालिटी का, वो तो मानना पड़ेगा. मतलब आप अगर चैंपियंस लीग में
आई एम जस्ट सेइंग मुंबई सिटी स्क्वाड में कौन है राइट बैक?
वो नहीं है. वो वही मैं बोल रहा था कि उसको आई थिंक जैसे उन्होंने लेफ्ट बैक में आकाश मिश्रा को लाया, आई थिंक दे नीड ए मोर क्वालिटी प्लेयर ऑन दैट राइट फ्लैंक नाउ, बिकॉज़ जो प्लेइंग स्टाइल वो खेलते हैं उसमें अब राहुल बेके नहीं.
Akash Mishra was the guy who did the mistake, na, for the second goal.
He did, but I think Rahul Beke also, मतलब उसके साथ regular अब हो चुका है ना.
But again, yes, and on being lucky to play ACL, I think every Indian player who was and is currently able to play ACL for FC Goa or for Mumbai City FC is very, very lucky. So from that perspective, and next year it's done and dusted. Next season onwards, I don't know how many years Indian clubs will not be able to play ACL. So that is also a sad reality.
Minimum 4-5 years तो minimum रहते सर. Maximum कितना भी हो सकता है. 4-5 years तो हम नहीं जा रहे.
अच्छा, Ogni is saying that Shubhashish is playing tomorrow. I thought he's still injured.
मेरे को पता नहीं. Actually मेरे को भी पता है injured है. अग्नि के पास होगा information. I don't know. I need to check. I think मैं कल I can check tomorrow and get.
Press conference में आज क्या बोला? Press conference में क्या बोला?
No, मैं I am not checked. I'll just check with somebody. मैं check करके बता दूंगा कल सुबह morning. So Hiren, what do you think, bhai? We are discussing on this game. Many are asking. Abhishek is giving this question going by Juan Sir's tactics. He likes to make all qualification from group stage interesting, so all club supporters watches all match till the end for the development of football. I think
लास्ट में अगर अकॉर्डिंग टू दी प्लान नहीं जाता, फिर ये सारे फैंसी फिर क्या बोलते गालियां देते हैं अगर क्वालिफाई नहीं करते तो.
नहीं, 100%, 100%. Acha, Agniv is saying one of the Odisha does not have proper number 10. Your take on this for tomorrow? They don't have proper number 10.
Do you need a proper number 10 when you have Ahmed Jahu? That guy is your number 6, number 8, number 10, all in one package.
Kumar again has this for Rahul Beke. He's saying Mumbai City should scout players right back, develop for the future to replace Rahul Beke. Rahul Beke is not Mumbai City FC type of player. Mumbai City FC type of.
Name me that finished product who's there. Left back तो था, उसको लिया. Right back नहीं है. See, same problem with the Indian team. There are makeshift right backs playing in positions, no, in a lot of teams. So that's your, again, it'll hopefully come in the coming years. But again, yeah.
Right. Acha, before we wrap up, before we go to the India-China games discussion, last part of our discussion, from both of you, what do you think about tomorrow's prediction from both of you? Onawada and Furious Harry or Curious Harry, anything.
I said 1-1 and I stick to the 1-1. I think it's going to be a game of chances on both ends, but I think it is an even game. And I'm very curious to see how Mohunbagan enter this game. If they take a little wait and watch approach, or if they go all out from the start. And the same question applies to Sergio Beira's teams. Actually, start attacking, start pressing high. How ready is this team to play Sergio Beira football? So those are sort of the questions that I have. So therefore, again, as I said, it's predicting this one is very difficult. But I would think 1-1 is most probably what I predict at this moment.
Correctly. Hiren bhai?
I think मेरा जो prediction है, I think it will be a close fight with a 2-1 victory to Mohunbagan, I would say. But because I think उनके पास ऐसे individual quality वाले player है कि जो मैच इस तरह के मैच में difference ला सकते हैं, तो that's why I am going with that 2-1 victory. And thank you very much by Susmit Chatterjee for the appreciation.
हाँ, उसने बोला है I really like you Harry bhai for your non-nonsense attitude towards Indian football. Actually Hiren is among few people that who are very vocal about things, and he's always saying things in his way of understanding. And thank you Hiren for everything.
And unlike Shayan, who tries to please certain coaches in the Indian football circuit, so that's the problem. We will not name the coach.
नहीं no issue दादा. but
banters are always welcome.
But the MBSC players Purir Kakatua famous Goja মাঠে গিয়ে কি করবে কি জানে, don't worry, you have an electric shock therapy. Arijit খুব ভালো sarcastically has put this here. So দাদা
now translated into English.
I'll this is very tough for me actually. I need to go and look at it. Very tough for me. So Onawada and Hiren, going for the last part of our discussion, India China tomorrow, 5 o'clock, 5:30. Hiren, 5:30 or 5 tomorrow? 5 o'clock. We don't know who is playing, who is not playing.
They might be delayed by 2 hours before that, so that the plane lands on time. So.
No, 5 in Indian standard time 5.
मजाक कर रहे उड़ावदा humor दे रहे because people are unaware who is playing or who is not playing. Yesterday in a press conference, Igor Stimac saying that Indian he would be resting Sandesh Jigan and Sunil Chhetri for China game. I don't know.
You can't.
I don't know, but he has said in a place I think in the press one of the articles has come out. But I think if he's resting Sunil Chhetri and Sandesh Jigan, so he expects them to play against Bangladesh and Myanmar. I think Myanmar, Harry has written it quite brilliantly, I think yesterday on Twitter, that 160th rank Myanmar is fielding an under-22 team in Asian Games, and where we need Sandesh Jigan, Sunil Chhetri to play to win that game for us. That is the level. If we want Sandesh and Sunil should play, then we should expect them to play against China, right? Who are a better team, at least on papers, on ranking, everywhere. So, Onauda, I'll go to you first. Your expectation for the Asian Games. Do you think anything happening?
I have none, honestly, because
Okay.
whatever results the boys get, and this is, I'm saying this why. I'll explain it to you. The boys have been put into this situation. Every player who's there, you know, and therefore I have no expectations. I have a lot of respect. I know what has been happening in the background. Sadly, you cannot talk about it publicly, because then, you know, I think half of India needs to resign. Whoever is involved in all of this is a complete disgrace. What has happened in the background, and
Correct.
and I don't know what we're doing.
Actually, we are
You know, I
still
don't.
we are clueless.
I still think. I think now, looking, and I said this in June. So if people want to hear this, go back to when we first discussed Asian Games on Candid Football Conversations on Iron Foot and Sports Khabri, and you gentlemen were part of these discussions also. That September will be the real test for the new AFF, if they can run Indian football or not. And this is not even, you're not even close to getting a pass. You have failed so miserably, and you're selling your failure as success. You are so shameless. And and this is, again, Mr. Steamart still saying whatever he wants, abusing everyone. Where is the control? Who is in charge? What are you doing? The point here is, I expect more from our women's team than from our men's. If the boys can get a result, I'll be very, very happy. But you've put them in a situation, again, do we know which players have landed in China? So this is not the way to do it. And all
And
these things that have
and
happened.
Dada, Nowrem Mahesh Singh is in Nowrem Mahesh Singh is in Kolkata. I don't know when he's going then.
Maybe,
Lal,
He is not going. He is not going. He is not going. Already you have sent 22 player list.
Are, who knows what list they've sent, na? They've been 15
God only
lists out
knows.
there. I have seen a list where the name of Shayan Shorkar as an overage player was there.
I have a list where Kalyan Chobi playing as a goalkeeper.
Might not have been a bad thing. Kalyan was a good goalkeeper in his playing days. Most probably better than what he's doing. I mean, this is I don't know. I seriously don't know. And as I said, I feel for the players, because you've been put. You've been put into a situation. You are, forget underprepared. You're not even underprepared. You are you're somewhat in the situation of similar to what happened to Pakistan in the SAF Championship,
Correct.
right? So yeah, nice joke, Ishan. I think anyone who's got an Indian passport, who can walk straight and has a pair of football boots at home, could have gotten onto the plane. And this is not the way. This is disrespectful to India. This is disrespectful to football. This is disrespectful to Indian football. And nobody in the authority has the guts to say, listen, sorry, we screwed up. And this is, yeah, it's, people are telling whatever they want to tell, and people believe things, and that's why I think Furious Harry is more suitable than Curious Harry, because most probably we are we are most probably some of the few people who are talking honestly what is happening in Indian football.
Yes.
I think that's the
Correct.
biggest problem, that people are unwilling to say people are being silenced. People are being told what to say, not to say. And again, there's a huge conspiracy going on.
That's a big problem, Onavada. This is the problem. We had it for a long, long time, Onavada. Because the truth doesn't comes across in Indian football, and that's the
We know
reason
what the
where we
truth
are.
is.
But we
Anyone
don't
who
say.
is a little bit of brain, who has an understanding, will understand that.
Correct, Onavada. But
Again,
that is not
the
discussed. That's the
coach is
problem.
abusing people, and you want more time. You have said, I am talking to everyone. Every coach has said, no one has spoken to me. The clubs have said,
Yes.
no one has spoken to me. And these things in the last second have happened under pressure from different authorities. This is not helping Indian football. Everybody should understand that. And everybody involved in this.
Correct, Onavada.
Everybody involved in this.
I've said Onavada, when he was in Kolkata, we have spoke many times, and he said it upfront. There was no communication. No communications. Lal has also not traveled. I think Piyush is correct.
No. Lal is not there. Lal is not there.
Not there. He's not
That's
there.
what I'm saying. Which is the
16
22? I mean,
16 player are there. 6 player which are not there. I am counting. Lalen Chungla, Sana Singh, Narendra Gehlot, Aniket Jadhav, Gurkirat Singh, and Deepak Tangri. These 6 player are not has been there. And
तो
out
सात हो
of
गया
this
ना?
16 player, out of this 16 player, 3 are goalkeepers. So you have to choose 10 players out of 13 players. In these 13 players, Igor Stemic is saying, I am not playing Sunil Chhetri and Sandeep Dinesh. So you have to choose 10 players out of 11 players. This is the situation.
But पता नहीं वो I think has he not gone through the list himself?
Sumit
Or he's not
Rathi,
aware of
yes, tomorrow Sumit Rathi will play as a sole center back.
So I don't know what is happening. People are
नहीं
in
नहीं
disarray.
आपको संदेश जिंगान को उसने बोला है ना कि संदेश जिंगान को मैं नहीं खिलाऊंगा, उसको जख मार के कल खिलाना पड़ेगा, ऑप्शन ही नहीं है आपके पास.
I don't know, उनको टीम पता नहीं है क्या? I just want आपसे मेरे को जानना है ये चीज, उनको क्या टीम पता नहीं है या AIFF टीम जो लिस्ट बना रही है पब्लिक को पता नहीं है, कोच को नहीं पता, तो किसके लिए?
अरुणवा सर ने जो चीज बोली ना वो मैंने आज सुबह ही बोली थी कि दिस इज द डिसरिस्पेक्ट टू योर इंडियन प्राइड. अब आप इससे अच्छा आप टीम भेजते नहीं, थोड़ा सा एम्बेरसमेंट हो जाता, लेकिन इस तरह से टीम भेजना और ये सारी मतलब दिखाने के लिए कि हम एशियन गेम्स में पार्टिसिपेट कर रहे हैं, इसका क्या मतलब है? आप किस सिचुएशन में आप टीम को भेज रहे हो वो तो देखो. आपने ऑलरेडी अंडर 23 क्वालिफायर्स का बेड़ा गर्क कर दिया, किंग्स कप ने आपने पूरा कर दिया, ये तीसरा टूर्नामेंट आप सेक्रीफाइस करने जा रहे हो. और फैंस भी जैसे ही मतलब लास्ट मोमेंट पे स्कोर आ गया तो फैंस खुश हो गए कि भाई चलो स्कोर जा रहा है, लेकिन इन लोगों ने ये बात क्यों फिर छुपाई कि भाई इतने जो चैंपियंस लीग एंड AFC कप वाले प्लेयर है वो फर्स्ट मैच के बाद छुपाए, क्या बोलते कि टीम के साथ ज्वाइन करेंगे, क्योंकि इनको पता था अगर उस टाइम पे बताया होता तो फैन फिर से यहाँ पे रिएक्ट करते और बोलते कि भाई दूसरी जगह पे दूसरे प्लेयर लेके जाओ, जिनकी इनके पास हालत नहीं थी दूसरे प्लेयर इकट्ठा करने के लिए, 22 का रोस्टर खत्म करने के लिए.
But Hiren, one thing I found very funny that the coach said, if I had known all of this, I would have called up an I-League team. He's also said that.
कोच का मैं कोच को मेरे को बोल रहा है.
And coach said, and I remember the coach was there last year at the final of the I-League between Gokulam Kerala and Mohammedan Sporting. He didn't know the players.
Yes.
That's why I didn't do the interview. Someone else.
He has not selected a single player from I-League in national team. He keeps saying that anyone who is playing.
For example, I'm happy for the boy, but how does Afsar Nurani get into the team?
Exactly. What have you done in the I-League last season? I don't think so. He has done extraordinary things. There are a couple of more players who have done much better than him.
Forget I-League. I would have looked at who is playing well. Maybe let's say in the Kolkata League. Would have picked a Mohammedan Sporting's David or something as a striker. Why not? If I'm in that kind of situation. So my point is very simple, that there are multiple people who have screwed up the situation, and there's no accountability.
Exactly.
So and there are players whose names have been put out, and their names are different than what they've been used in the league. So this is so bad. This is so bad and embarrassing. And they've been getting away with all of this, and someone needs to take action.
For me, sir, most disappointing thing is the fans behavior. I think I keep saying that fans needs to ask right question at the right time. चाहे कितना भी कोई भी मैनेजमेंट हो, कितना भी अच्छा काम कर रहा हो, कितना भी अच्छा काम कर रहा हो, जहाँ पे वो गलत करता है, आपको फैन की ये रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है। मैं ये कब से बोल रहा हूँ कि आपको राइट टाइम पे राइट क्वेश्चन पूछना चाहिए, जो हमने नहीं पूछा है, एंड इसी का ये नतीजा है। अभी भी फैन को लग रहा है कि एक छोटा सा मिसमैनेजमेंट है, आगे ये लोग सीख जाएंगे, सारी चीजें ठीक हो जाएगी। आई डोंट थिंक सो, आई डोंट थिंक सो। दिस थिंग्स विल कीप गेटिंग, क्योंकि अगर आप जब इनकॉम्पिटेंट लोग आते हैं, यू कांट एक्सपेक्ट देम कि भाई वो यहाँ पे अपनी गलतियों से सीख जाएंगे। तो फिर भाई कब का सीख लिए होते हो? And
No,
that's why
no.
that's the most
Someone asked
concerning
me
thing.
the other day on Twitter a question, or X as it's now called, and I didn't have an answer. I said, "But youth leagues ka kya ho raha hai? Normally by September the youth league start. Nobody knows anything.
No idea, no idea. Anybody?
Yeah, about the women's team, nothing was reported. Nobody asked a question about the women's team. And Thomas Dennerby was not asked. They did not extend the contract of the coach and wanted to appoint someone else.
Yes.
You have created a PIO task force, OCI task force, and said we will create a list. Bhai, list hai. Give me a call. I'll give you a list. In that second, I can give you a list, because I have a list. There are 2-3 other people who have even more comprehensive lists of players of Indian origin. You want us to create a national team? I can create a national team tomorrow of OCI players. This is all deflection of what is actually happening. The people who've done the Indigo deal are cut out of pictures. To showcase that people have done the deal, who are not even able to get 1 rupee, 1 paisa for the federation. Your coach most probably has destroyed the relationship to Reliance.
And nobody has control now. I sometimes I think, who is the AFF president? I think our coach runs the AFF. There's no control also now. That's again a big thing. And I see AFF media interaction is negligible, and I and Hillary are aware about that much more. The media interaction from AFF team is quite brilliant. Hiren, do you think?
छोड़ो इनको छोड़ो भाई। इनका मतलब अगर हम इसका बात करेंगे तो ये खत्म ही नहीं होगा, और लोगों को हम ही लगेंगे अभी की बेवकूफ। अगर टाइम जाने तो सब कुछ पता चल जाएगा सब।
हिरन, कल का मैच का क्या एक्सपेक्ट कर रहे हो भाई? कुछ पॉइंट
कल
आ
कल
सकता है या
खुद कोच यहाँ पे उधर कोच ने मैच स्किप कर दिया है, तो हमको क्या एक्सपेक्टेशन रखना? अब देखेंगे सिर्फ, और क्या करेंगे। कुछ कोच ने बोल दिया है कि हमने तो सिर्फ हम बांग्लादेश और म्यांमार की प्रिपरेशन कर रहे हैं। लेकिन मैं एक चीज यहाँ पे जरूर बोलूंगा, चाहे कितनी भी कोई सी भी कंडीशन में हम जा रहे हो, प्लेयर से हम एटलीस्ट ये तो एक्सपेक्ट करें कि जो मतलब उसकी इंडिविजुअल स्किल्स है वो तो एटलीस्ट वहां पे आनी चाहिए मैच में। ऐसा ना हो कि भाई वो भी मतलब टचेस भी आपका सही से नहीं हो रहे, आपका क्या बोलते शॉट भी कुछ, आप जिस तरह से आपने क्या बोलते चाइना अंडर 23 के सामने खेला था 10 दिन पहले, आई थिंक उतना घटिया तो नहीं होना चाहिए। नहीं तो हम क्या मतलब हम क्या बोल रहे हैं कि हमारे लेवल बढ़ गया है? कहाँ पे बढ़ गया है? ये तो आपकी मतलब ये प्रोफेशनल फुटबॉलर है, तो इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि आपको 15-20 दिन ट्रेनिंग मिले तभी आप कर सकते। आप कॉम्पिटिटिव फुटबॉल खेल के ही आ रहे हो, आप ट्रेनिंग साथ में नहीं किए तो आपकी मिस पास होगी, कोऑर्डिनेशन नहीं होगी, वो समझ में आ जाएगा, चलो ठीक है। लेकिन आपकी जो इंडिविजुअल स्किल्स है वो तो दिखनी चाहिए ना। अगर वो भी नहीं दिखा पा रहे तो हम क्या बोल रहे कि हम यहाँ पे ग्रो करके, कहाँ ग्रो करके? वहां ये तो एटलीस्ट हम एक्सपेक्ट करना ही चाहिए कल। ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए कि हम हार जाए तो बोल दे कि भाई प्रिपरेशन नहीं मिली थी तो नहीं हो पाया। वो चलो एक अलग बात है, हार मंजूर है, लेकिन आपके प्लेयरों की वो तो क्वालिटी दिखनी चाहिए।
Correct. Before we close the show, I think Arunauda and Hiren, tomorrow we will be watching both the games, Odisha and Mohunbagan Super Giant, and India versus China. I think this was the best opportunity we have got to get some result out of China, but somehow, due to the great management of AIFF, we are not sure who will play, who will not play. Team list is quite unclear, and sometimes I feel it would have been better if we have not played this tournament.
One thing last I want to add, I am finding this
Yes.
surprising why they are not selecting fullbacks in this squad. In under 23 qualifiers also fullbacks are missing. This squad of fullbacks are also missing. Why they are not selecting fullbacks? What is the reason behind it? A new philosophy as Indian football has been developed.
They maybe they don't know the players.
That may be a reason, bhai. That may be a reason. So, Onavoda and Hiren, uh, tomorrow we'll switch on the TV for India, and let's hope. I right now I think if it would have been better if you would have not gone to China to play this Asian Games. If this is the condition, I have totally agree with Arunavoda. Women's team, I'm expecting a good result from them, but they are also in a pretty tough group. I must accept that Chinese Taipei is a quite decent team, and Thailand both are ranked ahead of us. In if you see the FIFA ranking of women's team, they are ranked much ahead of us. So but I think they have done quite a good preparation against Thomas Dennerby, and I expect them to do well. But men's team again very unsure what will happen. Coordination, how rightly he didn't said that will be a problem. Onauda, any surprises tomorrow? Can we pull up an upset against China? I don't know. I think what I'm hearing under 23 team which played in the AFC Cup qualifiers, they will be only playing in the Asian Games, or is something different? Do you have any news about it?
As far as I understood it, the Chinese played an under 22 team in the qualifiers, and they will now play a little bit more experienced team in the Asian Games.
Okay. Let's see.
So therefore,
please,
it's going to be an interesting one to see who the Chinese play. And it's anyway a difficult challenge, and now the challenge is even bigger than it was, and it'll be interesting to see. And if I look at the squad, of course, yes, they've got some experience. They put Tan Long, the experienced striker from Chanchung Yatai, for example, in that. It's not that easy. Liu Yang is there from Shandong. They've smartly picked their team. One of their better players, Gao Tiangji. So therefore, yeah, it's a tougher team, and I hope we can somehow, I don't know, get a result or something. I don't know what to say, because this is, yeah.
Okay. So a shout out to Kumar Reddy. He becomes a YouTube member. Thank you for joining us. He will be added in our WhatsApp group soon. Hiren भाई, कोई सरप्राइज भाई, कुछ हो जाए कल, कुछ चमत्कार?
नहीं कल मैं तो जीरो एक्सपेक्ट नहीं जीरो एक्सपेक्टेशंस के साथ ही आप मैच देखेंगे, तो एटलीस्ट कुछ हो जाए तो अच्छी बात रहेगी। और जैसे सबने बोला, आई थिंक चाइनीज कमिंग अप विद ए वेरी सॉलिड स्कोर, and Talong is in very red hot form in the Chinese Super League. 24 matches, 9 goals he has been scored in this season. So it's not going to be easy at all. And they have also extra added pressures because Asian Games is happening in China. So they must have to you can say in football, their fans are expecting कि China do well. So जीरो एक्सपेक्टेशन है। आई थिंक मैच निकालने वाली बात हो जाएगी। सो देखते हैं। आई थिंक मैंने भी पहले 2-3 दिन पहले ही बोला था कि माय बेट ऑन इंडियन वुमेन्स टीम बिकॉज दे हैव प्रिपेयर्ड वेरी वेल। सो चाहे भले ही उसका टफ ग्रुप है कंपैरेटिवली, लेकिन वो अच्छा कर सकती है। एंड कल इंडिया अंडर 17 वुमेन्स क्वालिफायर्स का भी मैच है अगेंस्ट आई थिंक साउथ कोरिया। सो 3 मैचेस है कल, एंड लेट्स होप कि कल मंगलवार भी है, तो मंगलवार हनुमान दादा का दिन है। सो उसकी कृपा होगी तो होगा, नहीं तो भगवान भरोसे ही है। अब ऊपर वाला ही कर सकता है, क्योंकि नीचे वालों ने तो सब यहाँ पे रायता फैला दिया है। अब तो समेटना उसी को है। सो वही वाली चीज
मगर
है।
ये बात
सो बस
मगर ये तो सब प्लैनेट्स का ही गेम है ना भाई। प्लेयर्स के साथ प्लैनेट्स का भी जोर है। ये मानो या ना मानो, बट ये बात तो है। It's the stars actually which is the most important factor. That's why the fullbacks are not playing. It is all about the stars. And I think we will have a very new, our channel should be renamed sometimes to where where I'll having this conversation, and we'll pick up the dream 11 while discussing this. So thank you, Hiren. Thank you, Onauda, for taking out time.
So will it be changed from Indian food and the stars?
That we can discuss.
And in brackets football.
Brackets. Football is fast now. Food has gone where. I think we can more focus on the astrology part also. I think that's a very important thing now. But I think I must admit, Onauda and Hiren, that we have somehow we what we have thought in Onauda, you correctly said, when we thought this in June and July, the same thing is happening in September. And the people as a viewer also should understand, when they go through the propaganda news and everything, something as a report, not as a report, as a follower of the game. What I think is very very important, to analyze things and tell things upfront. And truths are sometimes very difficult to digest, but truth is truth. Truth is something which is truth and which comes out. And when it comes out, people accept it. When then it's too late. This is
But you're
something
not
we have to.
accepting it, na? The whole astrology story has been out for a while. I mean, this is not something which is cropped up new. And again, and it is funny that there are people defending the coach on this. And this is something which is, what to say.
Yes.
There are people defending him where you think is, what has happened? I mean, are you delusioned? Do you have a brain problem, or kya hai aapka? It's ridiculous.
Totally ridiculous, sir. Totally ridiculous.
And
we
no,
were actually
this is accountability is something which needs to be brought into Indian football, because otherwise we will have the same discussion we're having today in the next 10, 20 years. In 20 years' time, we'll all be older. We'll have the same discussion. It is a disgrace. And there is no one accountable for this mess, because it's not my fault, someone else's fault. No, guys, everyone knew that this could happen, except those who are in charge. Just, sad.
Really sad, really sad. So, thank you, Arunavada. Thank you, Hiren Bhai, for joining in. People who just saw the video or live streaming and who will see later, do like the video, do share it, and do subscribe to Indian Food and Football, Arun Food, and Curious Harry, or Furious Harry. But Furious Harry will not give the name, but you'll get Curious Harry. But do subscribe to Curious Harry, because we have been trying to make videos which are relevant for Indian football, and we are speaking the real, giving you the real news, which is sometimes tough to digest. But once we accept the reality, then it's better for us to progress in life, not in life, in football also. So that is the takeaway. So thank you everybody for watching. Thank you again, Onauda and Hiren, for joining in. It's good night from our side. We'll catch up tomorrow after the game at night after 10 p.m. Thank you.
Good night.